From the moment that I seen the PVs for Shiunji family, I was pretty much set on Minami being best girl. She just looks way too much fun. And it looks like with episode 2 of Shiunji family, she's winning. Girl is already winning from the gate. Once the gate's open, the girl is already winning. This girl already has his attention. And it's really around that line of the karaoke. The idea of, yeah, essentially when he's with her, he's able to let his guard down. He's able to be himself with her. She's just so much fun. She's infectious. So I'm like, girl's already winning. Let's go play some beat 'em ups. This girl's great. But yeah, episode 2 of Shiunji family, pretty good surprise of an episode. I honestly didn't really feel like this was going to be a series that I'd be able to have much conversation about, but I think the writer's doing really good with the show. I think the only thing with the second episode that I'm already getting a little bit of fear of is Arata. And that was my biggest hang-up. This being the writer of Rent-a-Girlfriend, I'm like, yeah, at least it's not the character from Rent-a-Girlfriend. Hopefully this character's cool. And he's still cool. Arata is still a cool character. Like, the way that he handled the whole situation with Kotono, very respectful. I like that. I don't have feelings for you. She's coming on very hard. She's coming on very hard. But at the same time, he's very respectful of it. Yes, we're going to get into where I think there's a struggle with how he responds. It's a big brother response. The way that he handles it and the way that he walks out of the situation is really, really good. And the way that he's handling all the girls is really respectful. It's just really in the inner dialogue. And that was my hang up with the character from Rent-a-Girlfriend, is his inner dialogue gets way too repetitive. And Arata's inner dialogue is already getting really, really repetitive. Yes, to the situation that they're having right now, with the situation with Kotono, it's understandable. He's going to be thinking about the fact that, hey, we're still siblings. We're still brother and sister. That's still going to be in his head, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's going to get repetitive. So we'll see. We'll see if he can start thinking about something else besides that. But anyways, let's get into the episode proper, talk about this, because this was actually a really good episode, and it really does give me a lot of hope for what this writer can do with this series. What I sort of think of overall, what they're doing so far, is sort of exploring different concepts of sibling love or relationships with these characters, with each one of the different girls. Each one of them sort of handling it differently. Each one of them having a different perspective on how this can sort of unfold. But yes, opening up the episode with Oka and Shion talking about the whole situation with Kotono. Which yes, at the same time, we have Arata over here and Kotono's grabbing on. Girl's like, I'm not letting you go. But yes, this conversation is essentially talking about what happened between them. That yes, we finally get the reveal that what happened essentially is that before this even happened, before the reveal happened, Kotono expressed that she loved Arata. And yeah, he kind of brushed it off. He rejected her and she clung on. Like, she would not let him go back then too. And that was pretty much when they found him. She was holding on to him. They fell over, whatever. And they came in there. But he had already rejected her. And he only told Shion and told him not to tell anybody else because he didn't want Kotono to look bad. He was doing it out of respect for Kotono. Kind of kept it under wraps so that she wasn't embarrassed if, you know, Oka or Seiha, somebody else found out about it. But I like this because this is sort of an interesting thing, and it does sort of, you know, piggyback off of the whole situation that's happening with Arata and Koto at this moment. Like, when they're in here, she's grabbing on, he rejects her once again and said, no, we're siblings. But again, bringing up the idea that you're just confused. And this is a really big sticking point. And again, I hope the writer actually handles this well, because it seems like it's doing it. It seems like it's doing it. These individuals, these siblings right here, the separation of their age isn't huge. Kotono was 14, I think, when it began, and now she's 15. And the oldest, I think, is Banri. There's like only a 4-year gap between these individuals here. 3 to 4 year gap. But some are acting like they're more adult than the others. They're all looking at Kotono like she's too young. She's just a young kid. She'll get over that. She's just confused. Even Oka's saying it, and she's only like a 2-year gap. She's acting like the grown-up, even though there's only a 2-year span here. She's looking at Kotono's situation and saying, oh, she's mistaking affection for a sibling as being love. And even right here, as he's saying this to Kotono, he's saying you're being confused. You're just confused. You'll eventually grow out of this. And this makes sense. This is obviously what a lot of people will point out. When a young person falls in love, it's just confusion. Especially when it's a young person that has feelings for a teacher or an adult. You have to tell them, look, you're just confused. Eventually you'll grow out of this. You'll find somebody your age that you love. It happens a lot. So they're pretty much doing that to Kotono. No, you're just confused. Don't worry about it. I'm going to guide you. And again, respectful to Arata here. He's essentially saying, I'm still your big brother. I'm going to protect you and make sure that you're happy all the way to the point where I see you off to the aisle. I'm going to watch you go down that aisle with somebody that you actually love. It's fine. I'm going to take care of you. Just forget this ever happened. Walks out the door. But Kotono goes over and she's like, you're the nicest person ever, but also the meanest. Gets inside the bath and says, I wish that you'll tell me when it's no longer confusion and something more. Give me an indication. I'm going to wait, but at some point I wish that you'll tell me, okay, it's no longer confusion. You can now like me. Again, I think the writer's going down the path for Kotono's character that it can go two different directions. And the idea is it actually just sibling love being mistaken for actual love? Or is it something more? Even later on, I think it's Seiha mentions the idea that maybe Kotono picked up on this way before. Because Seiha ends up confronting Arata, yes, climbing on top of him, putting him through the test. I seen that you guys were in there. I wanted to make sure that you wouldn't make a move on us. I just want to test you really quickly, the most direct way possible because I have no feelings for you. Sure. Climbs on top of him. I like her test is like stick her butt up. Like who can make the most like provocative poses and whatnot on top of him. I thought she was just listening to his heartbeat. It's essentially she was seeing if he would get worked up, seeing if he'd get all doki doki with having one of his siblings on top of him. But yeah, she points out the same thing. Yeah, pointing out all the usual things like, yeah, it's in law here. You're not supposed to be with a sibling. Blood related is bad. Outside of blood related produces better genes, all that kind of stuff. Health problems, yada, 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 yada. She's literally the one that's saying, yes, we know this is supposed to be bad. But Seiha right here, she's like, yeah, technically, since we're not blood related, you can have relations with your sister. You Arata, can do whatever you want. You can do those kind of things. You can, again, do ecchi stuff. You can do ecchi stuff with us. It wouldn't be unnatural for it to happen, biologically speaking. And maybe Kotono picked up on it all along. It's a question mark there. I don't think that's the case. Because what Kotono essentially said in the bath was, yeah, I looked it up. Am I a bad girl? I looked it up. Again, implying there that at that point, after that meeting for her birthday, she went to the bath and she immediately looked up, can I marry Arata? Is it okay that I could do this? I don't think she had an idea before then, but what Seiha is basically saying is that, yeah, she could have had a feeling that I can do this, even before finding out that they weren't actually siblings. I don't doubt that, but the direction it seems like they're going with Kotono's character could be that question mark. It could actually eventually get into the idea that it's always been a sibling relationship thing, and at some point she realizes, no, I don't really have feelings for Arata, based on the fact that it's a harem ecchi comedy show, and they have to keep the harem going. They're probably not going to do that, but it would be interesting if they went that direction with her character. But again, I do like this character experimentation that this writer's doing. This idea that everybody else, especially Oka here, is saying, oh, she's just confused. Oh, yeah, she'll get over this. Yeah, it's okay. I kind of feel bad. I feel bad for the girl. This whole thing is happening for her, but she's confused. But the age gap here isn't huge between them. Who's confused? And again, I like that she says, let me know when it's no longer confusion. Let me know when this can be more than that. I like it. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, I did like the whole segment with Seiha. I did get a kick out of that because that was my biggest hang up with the first episode is I didn't really care much for Seiha's character. She just felt like she was the bookworm, super neutral character. But I did get a kick out of during the segment between Seiha and Arata. You get a sense of like her humor, that she's a little bit sharp. Like there's a little bit of a sharpness to the way that she talks and everything like that. Just talking about random stuff, kind of standing around, looking a little bit like she's kind of interested in him. I mean, especially the aftershot, the moment she's standing there and going, it's nothing more than that, right? Nothing to be concerned about, right? Yeah, obviously this girl probably has feelings for him for a long time now, and she's always kind of closed it off. I don't know if they'll go the route with Seiha's character and the idea that it's illogical. Like, it's too inefficient. Like, that kind of whole thing. The Nano thing from 100 Girlfriends, the idea that this stuff just is a waste of time. I need to focus on this thing. But the whole scene did give her a lot of character. I especially like that last little jab that she gives and the idea of, I'm still your older sister on paper, so be respectful about how you speak. Call me something cute like Seiha-chan or something like that. There's still a little bit of cuteness in her that I actually really did enjoy. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But yeah, during this whole time, we did also get a brief scene of Banri walking into the father's room. And he immediately said, I knew it would be you. He was expecting that Banri was going to come in there. And then again, this piggybacks off of what they talked about in the first episode. She knows something because she's the eldest. She was there pretty much at the beginning, very young though, but she knows something. She remembers something. But at the time, she said that, it doesn't really matter. She kind of just brushed it off. They're like, yeah, we would like to know. Nah, it's not really that important. So I'm guessing that she probably is confronting the father about that at this moment. That she knows something, and he's like, yeah, I knew you knew something. I hope it's something important, something interesting. I don't necessarily see anything being that impactful that she'll know. Unless it's just going to be barely something that she knows about that will be important to her character, and it'll be explored the moment that Arata and Banri have some sort of thing going on between the two of them. We'll see. Banri's arc. But yeah, that's when we get the whole segment for Best Girl Minami. We have her having a rare moment to have time off from, doing her usual sports stuff. What did she say? 1 day in a million or something like that. We come to find out that later on it's because she's flunked her class placement test. Oh my gosh. She has to have some sort of flaw. Which is interesting because Oka's character is made out to be the sports and smart girl. And so it was kind of odd that Minami's character was going to be sports as well. But I think they're really kind of pegging her more into she's the Genki character. She's the always fun to be with character. The one that finds fun in everything character. So that does sort of offset the two of them. I did like the idea of them being competitive, whatever. But yes, apparently she is a fail girl when it comes to smarts. She's apparently the dumbest of all of them. She gets the lowest grades. So yeah, she's flunking her class, and so he has to help her out. They were going to go out to have some fun together because it's a rare moment of not having to do her sports stuff, her club stuff. But no, we're going to do some study. And the worst place possible to do it at, the karaoke place. So the entire time that he's trying to help her out, I like how she's like a dog with a ball. It's constantly she's distracted by something else. She's constantly just wanting to do something fun. And really that's what makes her special and so great. But at the same time, it's going to be the thing that is going to be her overall downfall, is that she can't study because she's always looking for something fun to do. This is somebody that is always seeking out something exciting. It's what makes her great. And it's what he is drawn to. Somebody that he feels comfortable with and that he can let loose with. She's infectious. But the problem is that she can't focus on this study. I like how she literally goes over there and starts singing, and very quickly he's trying to stop her, but he ends up getting sucked into it. He ends up joining along with it and having fun with it. Again, this is somebody that I feel comfortable with. This is the person that is the most fun to spend time with. Definitely going to be hard to beat. It's definitely, of all these girls they've kind of gotten into a little bit, even if the viewer doesn't think she's best girl, it seemed like Arata does. But yes, I do really like the after scene. I really like this because this is where we're going to get Minami's perspective on what she actually thinks about the whole situation. What her response is to the news is literally, I don't think they were malicious about it. I mean, we can always talk to him about it more. We'll find out some more information. But yeah, her whole thing is that she's just kind of curious about who their real parents are. I would like to meet them, learn more about them, that kind of stuff. And yes, like everybody else, she's worried about Kotono. She's the youngest. She has a delicate side to her. And probably, she probably knows that Kotono likes him. But interesting to the idea of the relationship is specifically the fact that, you're no longer my older brother. You're just an old guy at school. And even calls him senpai. It really comes down to an idea of it doesn't really matter much in the end. It doesn't really matter what we call each other. If I call you big brother or if I call you senpai, it doesn't really matter in the end. We built this relationship over 15 years. We've had all these great moments together. Nothing really gets rid of that. That is what really is valuable, is the time that we spent together. That's all that's important. And again, it's sort of similar to how Banri views it. The idea of it doesn't really change anything. We still have our relationship. We still have who we are. But yeah, she's just kind of pep talking him. Gonna find out she's just trying to butter him up because he's seen the girl that he liked with a boyfriend. So don't get down that the girl that you like have a boyfriend. Yeah, Oka told me. Yeah. Cheer up, senpai. Cheer up, senpai. That was so cute. And again, that was in the PV. I love that shot. Cheer up, senpai. It was cute. Let's go play some beat 'em ups. And then it wraps up the episode with Minami giving Oka a treat and apologizing for the AirPods, giving them back to her. And she's like, oh, you take this. It's cute. It's a cute little wrap up for their little spout they had last episode that I completely forgot about. But yeah, I think it covered everything. There was a brief shot of Arata and Shion walking to school, and it does kind of hit on the idea that, it seems like it's true that, girls are better at hiding their feelings than boys. These girls are just all walking, and they look like nothing ever happened. They're in public, and suddenly it's like none of this happened. They're just being cheerful. He's even pointing out that Kotono was going to school. Didn't even notice it. These girls they put the mask on. It's a mask thing. Just put the mask on. We're moving forward. Whatever. The public has no clue this has happened. It's true. It's true. But yeah, overall, like I said, very, very, very solid episode. Very solid episode. My only hang up is getting a little bit too repetitive with Arata's inner dialogue. But everything else is really kind of hitting full steam. I love the stuff they're doing with Kotono. The idea of the confusion versus actual feelings. Again, the hypocrisy of these individuals that are... They're very close in age, having this feeling of almost like, I know more than you, acting like they're the mature one, which does technically happen a lot with siblings. I've experienced that myself, not really being that big of a age gap with my siblings and having that feeling of like, why are you looking down on me? It's not like you have that much more life experience than me. There is a sense here where the older siblings, in often cases, feel like they need to guide the youngest, but at the same time, it almost discredits them. There's almost an aspect of almost looking down upon them that the younger can actually feel with the situation. I'm not stupid kind of thing. And I think that is what they're sort of doing with Kotono's character. I'm not stupid. I'm not confused. Oh, I am? Okay, tell me when I'm no longer confused. Is it when I'm 16? Is it when I'm 18? Is it when I'm 20? When am I going to be allowed to say these are real feelings? And I hope they can actually nail that. But we'll see. Anyhow, that's my thoughts on the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below, comment. Let me know what you think of the episode. Are you on Team Minami? Are you joining me on Team Minami? I don't think I asked that last episode. I think we got a good idea of each of the characters so far. So let me know who's best girl. Who's best girl at this point? I think they're all great at this point. I root for Kotono. I think Oka's just got a spark to her that's super cute, and she's Ria Takahashi. Minami is just way too much freaking fun. She's just way too much fun. Seiha is growing on me. And Banri's big sis. They all have their thing, and that's typically what harem animes do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and you want to support the channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. But until next time, y'all take care.